everybody.
You know what time it is?
It is that time. What time is it?
7:45.
Okay. But it's also time for something else.
Yeah, Allan&Hoostan&who. I am Allan.
And I am Hoostan.
Welcome back to Allan&Who for those who are returning, but for those who are new, Allan&Who is a sub-series within the Allan&Hoostan program where we each take turns showing each other an artist that we have never heard of before, artists that we do know but we don't know a lot of songs from, and we do 5 each, and we talk about the artist and the songs and what we think of it.
Yep. So today it is my turn. First off, great intro.
Thank you.
Great intro.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I didn't. He doesn't know. And honestly, I don't really know much about this artist either. Who could it be? It could be anybody. That's the thing. It could really be anybody. I mean, we usually try and keep it to rock, but who knows? Maybe this might be the episode we finally branch out of rock. So it could be anybody. But in reality, it's someone that is rock. Did you want to take a guess?
Is it someone from the 60s?
Well, let me take a look. I think I'm gonna go. All right. So this band has started in. It was formed in 1969, according to Wikipedia. That is. They have, according to Wikipedia, that's the source right here. Wikipedia. They have, according to Wikipedia, sold over 50 million albums and are ranked as one of the greatest metal bands of all time.
And then from the 60s?
They were formed in 1969.
Black Sabbath?
No. This is kind of out of left field for me, because normally I'm classic rock. Who retro man?
It's not Zeppelin, right?
It's not Led Zeppelin, but now we got him hooked because he is a very big heavy metal fan.
Heavy metal, hard rock fan, yeah.
So he's going to be quite surprised about this one, and that is what the surprise is.
Can I take one more final guess?
Take one more final guess, and then you will have to.
Deep Purple.
Nope. The band we are talking about today, Allan.
Oh, you want me to look? Okay!
Yeah, that's
All
right. You guys probably already know because of the title, but today we're going to be taking a look at Judas Priest. And if you wanted to know why Judas Priest, well, I know a lot of people that are into Judas Priest, him included. His family is into Judas Priest.
Mostly. Well, yeah, my mom. My dad mostly. My mom also loves him too. I mean, who else doesn't love Judas Priest?
So this one is for Allan's. I guess we'll pour one out for Allan's dad here. Allan's dad, this one's for you. We're going to be doing Judas Priest. Now, first off, I know nothing about Judas Priest except for one song which I can't remember the name of.
Living After Midnight.
I think that was it. Yes. So you can see I am I'm so far from a Judas Priest fan. It's not even funny. Now, however, on this show, it's time for me to get educated, and I'm going to step up to the plate. Although I don't listen to heavy metal, it is not my type of thing. A lot of people I'm surrounded by seem to like it, so I got to go take a look at it and see what I think for myself. So today, I am going to go on a deep dive, and I suppose, even though you know most of them.
There might be songs that I've never heard of yet.
And that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to learn together. It's a, I forgot what we called this thing. Today, we're going to be doing, we're both going to learn something new.
Yeah.
So, let's take a look.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what sort of hidden gems we'll find. If everyone could recall back to when we did the Animals a little while back, a lot of those songs from the Animals deep dive, we'll call it a deep dive, I guess, we walked away with some songs that we do listen to. I actually have been listening to that song, Mrs. Cockner, that we saw on the Allan&Who, and I've been listening to it. So hopefully today, Judas Priest will have the same effect on me. I will hopefully be listening to some of their songs.
I think they will.
So let's take a look. Well, let's see. So they have a lot of singles.
Real quick, should I give some? Because since
take a look. Yeah, I mean, yeah. This time you actually could.
Well, should I give some background
Yeah,
information?
give some background on them.
So Judas Priest, like Justin said, they were formed in '69, but they were really started their career in the '70s. But then they became very popular in the '80s, and they were regarded with other bands like Iron Maiden as one of the pioneering new wave of British heavy metal bands. The lead singer is the almighty metal god himself, Mr. Rob Halford. still crushing it to this day. For a guy his age, he is still dominating the metal game, and he's just talented. One of my all-time favorite metal vocalists. We have dual guitar ragtag group of guys by the names of K.K. Downing and Glenn Tipton. Both of them are the guitarists of Judas Priest. Both are lead and rhythm. They both go back and forth, not learning. They go back and forth doing the lead parts of the guitar and rhythm parts. Very talented. The bassist is Mr. Ian Hill. I don't really know much about Ian Hill. All I know is he's been in the band, I think, for a very long time. Now, the drummers, they have went through many different drummers in the band's history. The drummers that I notably know is the first drummer was around the mid-70s up to like the late 70s, before the 80s. His name was Wes Banks. And the drummer that came after him was probably one of my favorite drummers, especially for playing for Judas Priest. His name was Dave Holland. He is fortunately no longer with us. He passed away a long time ago, but he played from 1980 on their most famous and greatest album, British Steel, all the way to 1989, during like the band's like heyday and their prime. And then you got Scott Travis, who appeared on the 1990 album Painkiller and is the drummer currently to this day. And he really brought a different sound to Judas Priest, more of a heavier speed sound to Judas Priest's sound. But yeah,
well said. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at their very first album, their debut album,
Rock-a-Rolla.
Now, have you heard any songs off this album before?
I think, but I know that this album, not only was it the debut, but this was more Judas Priest as a hard rock band, because a lot of those bands in the late 70s going to the 80s were still finding their sound, and they were really labeled as hard rock before metal. Even though it's technically metal, but they were more of a hard rock band. I know some songs on there. I think I glanced at it, but I am not really familiar, because I've been really wanting to get into their discography for a very long time, but I haven't had the time. But I do know, I think the title track is on that, right?
I don't. Oh yeah, it's the second spot.
Okay.
All right. So let's take a look at a song that without it, we really wouldn't have a Judas Priest to be reviewing today. Today we're going to be taking a look at their very first song, One for the Road. Okay, I already like the rhythm so far.
Oh yeah, there's Rob.
have it there. So we're halfway. We're at 2 minutes and 48 seconds for those that were following along. All right, what do you think about it?
Definitely, I like the groove and the tempo of the song, and the whole vibe is definitely like 70s hard rock. Like you can really hear that hard like blues rock with the guitar riffs and just like the tempo, and then even Rob Halford's voice at the time. You know, he definitely sounds like a lot like Robert Plant, like very Zeppelin-ish kind of, and just yeah, it's definitely a raw, rugged sound, but you can kind of see like where they were building their sound and what it would become.
Well said. Again, I have to second you on that. The tempo and the groove is phenomenal. I love it. He actually more reminds me of Black Sabbath, more or less, like vocal wise. But yeah, I liked it. I think that song I will be adding to my playlist, my ever-growing playlist at that. I like that song, and I like the groove of it. It's a great song to listen to when you're trying to get some work done. So let's take a look at a album. Let's see, just a random album.
I was gonna say if you wanted to, because like I know like
we got a lot of albums.
If you wanted a recommendation, I would say like, let me see.
We'll let you pick the album.
Okay.
And then we'll find a random song off said album.
Well, I actually have a song picked, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, why not? All right.
So this album, the song that I found is from their album Killing Machine. Well, so a little tidbit about this album and the history of it. I read it up. So there's actually two versions of this. There's the the international version, and our version. Our version is called Hell Bent for Leather. Theirs is Killing Machine because they didn't want to stir up controversy, because I think there was like a shooting or something that happened, and they didn't want to like get in trouble, like if like the title of the album was something related to that, so they changed it.
Got it.
But the song that we're going to pick is probably one of my all-time favorite Judas Priest songs, and when I hear this song, I actually get pretty hyped. It's called Hell Bent for Leather. And this was around the time when, and if you look at the album cover, you can look it up online. I think it's Rob Halford with like glasses and like a motorcycle gear, because this was around the time when they were really indulging in like the motorcycle culture with like the spikes, boots, and like just the leather and everything. They were really living that lifestyle. So yeah,
let's take a look at it.
So this is Hell Bent for Leather. Judas Priest. I've listened to this song before, so you'll see.
So the English version is different lyrics.
No, it's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
This album's the same. It's just the title is different.
Oh, okay. I like the guitar.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to guess who. That's Glenn Tipton, who does the lead work.
I think that's I like this song.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we can't really say what you think. Well, yeah, I guess we could.
No, we
You've
can.
never-
No, I've heard
yeah.
of the song. It's
Oh, let's
pretty.
see.
It's pretty much the same opinion. Very fast paced and it's very like punk driven.
Yep.
And that combined with Rob Halford's melodic, like towards the chorus, it's kind of like with that kind of that like echo kind of effect where it sounds more hollow.
Yeah.
And then does the chorus, the help it, leather. It's such, and the guitar solo is great, and just the drums sound really huge and monstrous. But yeah, it's a really good song.
I like it. I like the guitar solo. The drums are crazy. I'm not too surprised that he likes it because it seems like it's a very drum-heavy song.
Yeah.
And the vocal chorus is just as aggressive as you would expect from heavy metal. So today we're going to be taking a look. For our third place, "Screaming for Vengeance."
I was gonna say you passed. I was gonna say I'm surprised you didn't pick anything from British Steel. That's okay.
No, I see. I'm going in completely unbiased.
Okay.
I don't know any of these albums, so
I was gonna recommend a song, or do you want to just pick something
I'll
random?
just pick something random. Let's see. We could do the title track, or we could randomly pick one. "Riding on the Wind." I think we'll end it right there. So, what do you think?
First, listen to that song. It's amazing. This is really Judas Priest's classic sound forged here. Like this is their sound with Rob Halford's, and you notice it. His high pitched screaming vocals, what he's known for. The drumming by Dave Hahn was great. He was the drummer at this time. KK Downing and Glenn Tipton's guitar riffs, especially the ear ringing, high pitched, in your face guitar licks with like the synth kind of like Odyssey type thing. It's great. This is like I said. This is Judas Priest's like sound that we all know.
I like it. Vocals remind me heavily of Ozzy as well.
That's like one of his biggest influences, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I could tell. I like it. The chorus reminds, not the chorus, the tempo reminds me a lot of I don't know if you picked this up, but it reminds me a lot of Eye of the Tiger. Dun 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 dun.
Oh yeah, the beginning where it's like the part with the cymbal. Yeah, I could hear that. I didn't pick that up, but I could.
I like it.
What you're saying.
It's definitely a very hard rock song. There is no denying that. But yeah, I liked it. So this album is from 1982, July 1982. So it is an 80s album. Very cool. That was our third one, right? Or fourth?
Yeah. You got another thing coming as probably their most popular. So one of their most popular songs that's on that album.
Is it?
It's a killer song. It's a straightforward song, but it's killer.
Can we just say that like they have amazing album art? Can we just first off say whoever they're getting to do the album art is really just really 80s and really cool.
British Steel's like album covers.
Let's take a look at that since we're here.
You have to go back up. I'll let you know. Right there.
Oh
yeah. That's their holy grail right there.
You know all the songs on that album?
Pretty much. So there's Living After Midnight, the one you know, and that's where I first learned. There's Metal Gods, there's Rapid Fire, there's Breaking the Law, United, Grinder, and that's all I know.
Let's take a look at one that you didn't mention, Steeler.
Oh, okay.
All right. How about that?
That was good.
I like how fast paced it was.
Definitely fast paced.
I also like that. I had to kind of take a look at the mark it was at the 1 minute and 30 minutes mark. Around that, they had where the song kind of changes its beat a little bit.
Tempo, yeah.
I like that. That was pretty cool. What do you think about it?
No, definitely, that was a really cool song.
You ever heard it before?
Nah, I think a little bit because I know like I listened to a lot of the songs on British Steel, and I think that was one of the ones on there. And you know, this is really classic Priest, especially at the mainstream, and you know, it's just a classic.
What a great song! But we have one more that's going to end everything off. Let's see, Invincible Shield. Is that a new song or
That's from their new album.
Well, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look to see if Judas Priest has still got it. Now, of course, a lot of the old school fans are going to be like, no way, they still have it. Well, we're going to take a look today. They have Panic Attack, Serpent and the King, Invincible Shield, Devil in Disguise. Well, I got to be honest. I want to take a look at the song that was so great that they named the whole album after. So we're going to take a look at Invincible Shield, a 6-minute and 22-minute song that we're going to not, obviously we're not going to do the whole thing. But let's at least take a look and see if Judas Priest has still got it. Here we go. end it right there. So we're at 1:46 in. What do you think of the song?
So far, because I know we're like 1.5 minutes in, and I know it's a 6-minute song, and we of course won't cover the whole thing, but I like the double bass. You know, with the addition of Scott Travis from the 90s on, he really gave them that gritty edge, and they got really metal. Again, it was just with his double bass work. This is just, you know, and of course Rob Halford's vocals. I hear they use a vocal effect on his vocals, but it's still good. And yeah, really good vibe of the song.
It was not for me.
Okay.
It was not for me, honestly. I did think it was a really great. So there was no real complaints about it. It's just I think it was so extreme. It was past my tastes. But obviously it's not a bad song because you can see people like it. So despite what I think about it, do I think that Judas Priest still has it?
Absolutely.
I think so. I think actually they have more than they did prior. That's personally what I think. Just like I said, unbiased. I'm new to Judas Priest, but based off of the little bit of transition that we went through all their albums, I could tell that they are continuing to get better, and that their new album, although most might agree is not as great as British Steel, I definitely think that they can stick around in the music industry as they are right now. This reminds me a lot of like the type of music. I don't know if I'm correct with this. Like I said, not really my genre. Slayer, I want to say something like that. Reminds me a lot of like really heavy metal, modern heavy metal. And if you didn't tell me that this was Judas Priest and that they were big in the 70s and 80s, I would have never known that it was the same thing. I would have thought it was a modern band that just formed a few years ago. So, well job, guys. Well job. Or well done. Not well job.
No, it's okay.
Any final thoughts on Judas Priest?
Well, pretty much like again, they're one of the greatest heavy metal bands of all time. I really like a lot of their songs, and you know, like what you're saying, not every song is for everybody. You know, like their stuff from the '90s on was really more metal and like speed and you know more metal. Everything from like this, like the '70s and like the '80s, but even like the '80s, like from British Steel to like '89 was more of like just a traditional like hard rock like metal sound. You know, you like the straightforward stuff. Now you know you like that, but even if you like the newer stuff, you have that. So there's different things for everybody.
Well said. Well, I think that was fun. It was a fun deep dive. Like I said, I got a single song out of it, so I can't complain. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to listen to that song more when I go through my playlist. That's it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So, who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Me?
You're me.
Oh yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Allan&Hoostan&who. I was really surprised of the band that he chose because when he mentioned metal.
Yep, I wanted to try something new. Just even if it's just for one time, I just want to try it.
Oh, so I commend you for doing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next Allan&Hoostan, I don't know if I should even say it or maybe keep it a surprise.
Keep it a surprise because we might end up changing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think. Well, tell them what you're thinking at the very moment then. And this is subject to change. But what are you thinking?
So when we did the Allan&Hoostan on that's coming up, probably whatever.
It's coming out. Well, it would have been out already in May. The one that was back in May that we just did.
Yes.
Where we talked about different.
The drum intros.
Yes.
I did mention on the list on that video. I mentioned a band that I was thinking of mentioning. I was thinking of mentioning the band Rainbow.
Yep.
Because Justin was really intrigued about the band's name and obviously the band, so I'm gonna show him more Rainbow because I like Rainbow.
Yep.
So that would be a really interesting video. But like you just said, now that may be subject to change.
It could
We're
be.
not sure, but we'll be on the lookout either way.
We don't want to promise you and then not do it. But we do actually have it written down in our other studio. We have it written down on in there that we have to do it. So we will be doing it whether it's next time or the time after. We will be doing Rainbow. So if you're a Rainbow fan, stick around because we're going to be doing Rainbow. So anyways.
That's all I got.
No, your name. Who's your
Oh,
name?
yeah. So I am Allan.
I'm Hoostan.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Have fun. If Judas Priest is watching, tell him I love him. I love you guys. Bye, Judas Priest. I'm going to watch more of your stuff. Bye.